Hi everyone and welcome back to the Scotland trip. Just to give you a bit of a recap on the previous episode, what we actually did was we travelled up from the Midlands, we travelled to the Holy Island Causeway, which is here just in the northeast of England, and then just after that we headed across the Scottish border up to our next location, which was a camping spot just over here in this area here in this little mountain range. And then as you'll see on this episode, we headed to the next location, which is Yester Castle.
So that's the first night done there. There's a tent box, there's the boys there. I was asleep.
It was alright, to be fair.
Decent, and then that's the view this morning. Look at that. So we're all packed up now, nice and clean, everything put away in the bins over there. And we're going to our first location of today, which is Yester Castle. So see you there.
So we finally found a little spot just over there where we could park to walk to Yester Castle. So we got a little bit of a walk through these fields, and then we got to go through a forest and down and try and find Yester Castle. Oh yeah. That's spooky.
So we're inside Yester Castle now. Lovely. It's a 13th century castle, and myth says that the devil and his team of hobgoblins pulled it from underneath the underworld. So to the right hand side of the castle there's a passage that leads deep into the hillside, the Devil's Hole, and allegedly that's a passage down to the underworld.
So this was the 13th century Yester Castle. I must admit, when you're underneath that sort of area of the castle, it did feel really eerie, especially when you look down the tunnel and you can't see anything because it sort of goes down and then to the right. If you're in the area, I would definitely recommend popping to this place because it's definitely worth a visit. And now we're going to head to the capital city of Scotland, Edinburgh, and have a little wander around the cobbled street, see what's about there. So we'll see you at Edinburgh. So we've made it to Edinburgh now and we're just stood outside St Giles Cathedral. So we're going to have a walk up the Royal Mile, which is behind us, and then head up towards, I believe, which is the main cathedral of Edinburgh.
So we're on the Royal Mile now in Edinburgh, and a fun fact for you is the Royal Mile isn't actually a mile long. It's not. It's not. It's 1.13 mile long. Joking. There's your fact for today.
More and more are starting to know.
Yeah.
So as you can see behind me, that's Edinburgh Castle. It was built in 1103 AD and it sits on top of an ancient volcano that last erupted over 300 million years ago.
So just to find out another little fact about Edinburgh, and that is 75% or over 75% of the buildings are actually listed buildings, and that's over 4,500 of the buildings in Edinburgh, which is the second most in any city after London. So we're sitting in the Prince's Street Gardens now, but there's a creepy fact, and it's this used to, all the garden here used to be a lake, and then it got turned into a sewer, and then they used to dump dead bodies in the sewers. But you wouldn't think that now because it's lovely water fountains and greenery and nice little tables and stuff, but another creepy little fact for you.
So we're currently walking through the graveyard of St Cuthbert's Church, just located south of Edinburgh Castle, which you can see on the hill there. Now in Prince's Park, which used to be known as Norloch, allegedly there was over 300 trials of witches that took place there, and the witches were actually drowned in the loch. Now for all you extreme Harry Potter fans out there, you'd have probably already recognised that the graveyard I'm actually walking through was the inspiration for J.K. Rowling to create Tom Riddle's grave. Now in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, they actually visit Tom Riddle's grave after they use the Triwizard Cup as a portkey. Now the graveyard I'm actually walking through, you can actually find the gravestone that has the name on it, Thomas Riddle, which was the inspiration for Tom Riddle, aka Voldemort. So we've got to talk fairly quietly because we're in the world's poshest bloody fish and chip restaurant. But we've all ordered some traditional Scottish food, which will show you when it comes out. But we've also gone for a traditional Scottish beverage each. So what I've had is, it's called March of the Penguins, and it's a stout. It's quite nice. It's like a fizzy Guinness. Minch went for Thistley Cross strawberry Scottish cider. Tastes like a strawberry KA can. Good old Lucas went for a coast to coast Scottish pale ale, which it's got like a bit of a pineapple-y tint to it. Decent. I've gone for a Scottish haddock battered with chips and tartar sauce, and Minch and Luke have gone for battered haggis and chips. So we've come out of Edinburgh now. It was absolutely lovely. I've never been to Edinburgh before, and it's an amazing city. So if you're up in Scotland, I'd definitely make sure you check out Edinburgh. There's lots of history there. Hopefully our facts have filled you in with a bit of information. But now we've just come to the edge of Edinburgh because we're just about to cross what's known as the Forth Bridge. But check this out, guys. So we've come away from the Forth Bridge now, which is on the outskirts of Edinburgh, and the last location on today's adventure is the Kelpies. Now, Kelpies are horses that are basically a myth and a legend in Scotland, and the myth and the legend goes that when you see a wild horse, it would pick up weary travellers, it would sort of target weary travellers, and it's actually a demon that would drag you to the depths of the water, drown you, and claim you as a victim. So it's a bit eerie that there's two massive horse heads sticking out of water when it's such a twisted myth. So to leave you on a high note, we're going to give you some beautiful footage of the Kelpies. See you on the next one.